What the hell? Oh, it's going back to read. That is a very stupid idea. That does not make sense. Okay, this goes to my bug list. It does something stupid. What the hell? Okay. Well, this is a development version of Explain. Bugs happen. Let's turn the airplane around. This is ridiculous. There you go. Yeah. $174. See? Okay. Now it works. Whatever goes into my bug list. 1,000 to go. What was I talking about? Leaning, right? Yeah, we were talking about leaning, and I don't have Lean Assist installed, so we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. The way I do it in this plane is actually by ear, because we don't have an engine monitor in the real plane. We just have a single probe EGT that is very slow and not very precise. So genuinely, the best way to lean the carbureted, the carbureted 172 is lean it out till it starts shaking, till the engine starts to feel unhappy, and then just give it 2 full turns back into rich and run smooth, and it is very happy. So here we are actually lean off peak. The real engine would begin to sputter now. We go in like 2 turns on the vernier control, and that's all there is to it. Oh, this actually works now. Okay, that's good. All right. Yeah. I wanted altitude hold. That's what I wanted. All right, and now they start handing you off to a different position in Frankfurt, and flying in the summer at 7,000 feet, it is so nice because the temperature is much nicer. It's cooled down a little bit, and the air gets so smooth once you pass 4,000 feet. So if you're flying low, especially the first segment where you have to stay below 1,500, in the summer you get bumped around a lot, and once you pass through about 4,000 feet or so, the air gets nice and smooth. So I love to fly IFR in the summer, even if the weather is this is basically what the weather was like today in Germany. Well, not today, day before, yesterday, but flying IFR allows me to use higher flight levels, and the air is super smooth and just makes life easier. All right, over here, well, the Odenwald starts, and down here the Hessische Bergstraße. There's a lot of nice small airstrips down here, Heppenheim, Bensheim, where there are glider clubs. Yeah. So Fox Victor, that is Worms, I go there a lot with students to do touch and goes and traffic patterns because the landing fees are very cheap there. Fox Mike, that is Mannheim City Airport. That is my go-to place for a controlled airport because they have an actual Class D airspace, an actual control tower who gives actual takeoff and landing clearances. So students need to practice the phraseology for controlled airspace. That's where I go with them. Romeo Yankee Speyer Airport has a very interesting traffic pattern because there's a dent in the traffic pattern where they don't want you to fly over the city. So the approach, you approach it Kai-Tak style. In final approach, you are flying over a museum, Technikmuseum Speyer, a museum where they have all kinds of planes, including 747-200 from the Lufthansa. So that is a great approach flying into Speyer, and while you approach it, you have this museum 747-200 sitting on the poles, kind of in like a takeoff position, and while you're flying the traffic pattern into Speyer, it looks like the 747 out of the museum is like coming right at you. So also a very nice airport. I think there's a very good scenery for X-Plane for Speyer from Flightport that actually models this the new museum and the 747-200 in the museum. Let's see. No, I don't have it installed. But Flightport, they make nice freeway sceneries, and I'm sure they have one for Speyer as well. So yeah, Rhine River. Well, X-Plane at lowest settings in all its beauty. I don't know what I have to change here to get the roads to show up. And so of course down here is the Mannheim City Airport. Where was it? Just saw it. Ah, there you go. Yeah. So yeah, here starts the Neckar River, and where the Neckar goes off into the mountains here, that's where Heidelberg is. Also very nice to just follow the Neckar. Take students or passengers for sightseeing here over Heidelberg, and fly off into the Odenwald. Right off the left here, it's a very interesting airport. Michelstadt im Odenwald, Echo Delta Fox Oscar. Very interesting because it has a very steep slope runway. Well, not as in Courchevel, not steep slope like in real altiports, but enough to make the approach interesting. Alright, and now I guess it's time to do a little time compression, because I won't bore you for another 17 minutes. And we'll just fast forward to where we can fly our Karlsruhe 3 Mike arrival. So now I'm trying to remember what the combination for ground speed increase is. Control Shift T, Control Option T. I never remember. Yeah, no, that is time compression. That's not what I want. Okay, whatever. I'll just take the plane on the map and move it on the map. Good enough for now. Where are we going? We're going down here. And of course now X-Plane has to reload the scenery. And at this point, we get handed off to Strasbourg, because even though Karlsruhe Baden-Baden is an airport in Germany, it's so close to the French border that the sector is actually controlled by Strasbourg approach. So at this point, you would be handed off from Frankfurt to Strasbourg, and the initial call when they get back to you would be Strasbourg approach, bonjour. And of course, everyone else on this frequency is talking French, and you are the only guy talking English, and the approach controller speaks with his beautiful French accent, and you really have to know what they are going to tell you. And apparently, if you page in the new DSFs, starts to load the vector data. Interesting. Okay, so again, the standard terminal arrival here is very easy. Minimum of 6,000 feet to the 431 DME. Well, we have an actual DME receiver in, not DME, NDB receiver. So just there you go. Actually works. It's good to know. So what really happens at this point is that Strasbourg approach clears you to vectors to the ILS. So let's pull up the ILS for runway 21. There you go. So when I'm here about at the Karlsruhe VOR, I would start briefing the approach, and it says here you can use the Karlsruhe VOR as an initial approach fix by ATC only. Actually doesn't happen when you are not even at Karlsruhe. Strasbourg usually vectors you in and wants you to do a vectors to final on the ILS, so that's what we're going to do. So at this point, we want to go into the select approach, ILS runway 21, and we'll do vectors to final, activate. And there you go, and that's what it looks like. So what they usually do is they vector you at this point heading 240, and then you fly heading 240 until intercepting the localizer. And of course they give you a lower altitude earlier on, which we missed because we didn't actually fly it, we just repositioned ourselves on the map. So reduce power and descent. And now of course I screwed up something because I'm down to like 10 frames a second, because I played around with the settings in a futile attempt to get my roads. So yeah. And we're up to 30 frames again. By the way, I'm filming all this on a 7-year-old computer. Yeah, I will need to get new hardware pretty soon, because Ben just gave us the new water for the new X-Plane. It's beautiful, glorious 3D water that uses a tessellation on the GPU to render the water. It looks absolutely great, but my 7-year-old computer does not have a GPU that can actually do this. So yeah, I'm in for new hardware, but I guess after 7 years, it's not too bad.